Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name's Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak in the Bag show for Wednesday afternoon, May 30th. Things there's ups and downs in this sport, in this show, in this endeavor, and everything. And last week was a little bit of a down kind of a deal for us. This week looking a little bit up. Jimmy the Bag once again slowly clawing back with 2 winning days and had a winner in the afternoon games as well. I am looking like I'm going to be having a positive day as well in the afternoon games, although left a lot of money on the table with my leans, Jim. I knew the Cincinnati-Arizona game was going to go over. I bet that one on the over. I knew Cincinnati was going to be a good bet the first 5 innings over. I did take Cincinnati on the second half, which is looking pretty nice. But, I was openly wondering about Cincinnati -1, which would have paid like $270, and that one's looking good. I was definitely liking the over. I thought that Cincinnati would put up some runs. Team total over first 5. That's in my leans category. Full game team total over Cincinnati. That's in my leans category. First 5 innings over. That's in my leans category. Cincinnati -1. That's in my leans category. All those leans are going to cash. I have Cincinnati on the second half. And some of the other games tonight, though, I am believing in myself, tripling up, quadrupling up, and of course I have a bunch of other leans that go for the evening games that I might convert to official picks. But the overall point is a little bit frustrating because we've both left a lot of money on the table, but things are still looking good because we're looking at probably maybe a third straight winning day in a row. Jimmy the Bag, what do you have to say about yourself at this moment?
I like it. Upset that we didn't jump on the Reds, but I like what's happening here. Also, the play of the afternoon, though, was a Nostra Total on the Indians -4.5.
Oh, really? Very nice.
Plus 290.
Very, very nice.
4.5.
That's another one I left on the table. I did take the Indians team total.
Okay. I think we'll be back in a sec. We're streaming now, I think.
We're streaming?
I think we are.
Are you serious? Are we live?
No, I am.
Are we live?
I think so.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome back to Loshak in the Bag show. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is. See, people caught a glimpse of what I'm like off camera. I'm like this. I'm like, well, what if we did the show very low, calm, and reserved, What if we put up some graphics that were showed the record, and on the left side we had the ROI, and the right side we had the wins and losses, and then when the show comes on, I'm like, his name's Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak in the Bag show. You're watching SportsbookReview.com, SBRSportsPicks.com, SBROdds.com. Check out SportsbookReview.com to find out which sportsbook is best for you in the offshore industry, right, Jim?
You're back in action.
Are we streaming?
We are streaming.
Are we streaming? All right, great. There's tech issues. Just like I said there's ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? Even within shows, even within days. You know what I mean? It's like that song by Frank Sinatra. It's like sometimes you're up and down. You're up in June. You're down in July. But what he left out is even within days, you're up and during the day, down during the day. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
I do know what you're saying, but I don't know that song.
Oh, come on. It's not everyone pretending like they don't know shit just because I made a WKRP reference and people were like, no, none of the millennials know that. Now everyone's pretending like they don't know Frank Sinatra.
Break that song down for me.
Sometimes you're up in June and you're down in July. It's Frank Sinatra song.
Keep singing it,
That's
man.
life. That's life. Sometimes you're up in October. Sometimes you're down in December. You know that song, right? Is that pretty funny?
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
That's life. All right, so obviously the show is off to a weird, wacky start. Once again, the good news is picks are going well. And again, when Jim and I leave money on the table, it's not like we don't talk about those picks. You know what I'm saying? So we give our opinions, as always with sports betting in this show and on your personal accounts. The only thing that really matters is when you click approve, right? When you click confirm. But as far as the show advice is concerned, it's good when we leave money on the table because it means we're giving good advice if people want to tail it. You know what I'm saying? It means you have a good read on the games. You know what I'm saying?
The Reds were a nice play. Now, they could still mess this up. They could still mess this up. Amir Garrett's pitching right now, but that was a play that should have been made. A play that Mark Lathrop made. And a play a few other guys made, and it was a nice play.
On what, Cincinnati?
Yes, on Cincinnati.
I bet that. I just didn't give
Marco Lou saying you guys left off Jimmy saying you should have bet on the Reds, and you got 4.5. No, I'm saying, sorry, we got cut off. Nostra Total Took the Indians minus 4.5 at plus 290.
That's right.
Minus 4.5.
There you go.
Jesus.
All right. Yeah. So some people were liking my one person who was not liking my singing my Frank Sinatra thing was Mark Lewis. He says, Pete, please stick to giving losing picks. You got it, Mark Lewis. Let's get right into it. Right. You got it, pal. Losing picks coming up right for you, Mark Lewis. All right. So
that's
let's go.
the sharpest Mark's being.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Tight and,
Absolutely. So just because we're back up now, still send me all those comments that I asked you
I
for.
did.
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
We're good.
So let me just review what went on from the morning show. Once again. So the picks that I gave in the morning show, a lot of leans that I got, but the picks I gave in the morning show, I'm tripling up on the Tampa Bay Oakland overs. I'm taking the first 5 innings over 4 minus 125. Tampa Bay first 5 innings team total over 1.5. Oakland first 5 innings team total over 2. And that's exactly how I felt about the Cincinnati game. I had the first 5 innings over. I had both of the team totals overs. I did have Cincinnati on the second half, and I also had them on the money line. The other play that I gave in the morning show officially was Miami-San Diego first 5 innings over 3.5 minus 117 with Richard and Uranus starting. I'm thinking about doing some double, triple overs up on that one as well because the Miami, Clayton Richard, right? I mean, he's okay, but he's no stud. The first 5 innings team total for Miami is 1.5.
Well, I'm so thankful we're talking about this game. I want to talk about it right now. All 3 of these late games are screaming over to me.
Yeah.
And I haven't bet them yet. I just found, and this isn't just looking at it for 5 minutes. This is sitting here humming and hawing for 3 hours over it. These are very low lines with very susceptible pitchers of getting touched. The wind's blowing out just mildly in both LA and San Diego. Urena has allowed 4 earned runs in each of his past 2 starts. And Clayton Richard, as soon as we thought he was turning around, he's starting to get lit up. The Padres are 4-8 when he pitches. Richard's gone 2-5 in his last 7 starts. In 6 starts against National League West, he's given up 27 runs in 30 innings, 7.80 ERA, 1.87 WHIP. Yes, both these offenses are terrible. Marlins are hitting 244, 679 OPS for lefties. Padres are hitting 228, 659 OPS. I'm happy that you're saying that because I'm going to jump on the over right now.
You want that as well, Jim?
Yeah, I do.
All right. I mean, the key is that with all these plays, you can obviously overthink yourself easily because, as we know, none of these plays are 100%. Very, very few of them are even over 60%. So it's easy to make a case for the other side. But in this one, Anthony L says he was on that. He says that the Cleveland game was low-hanging fruit. He was on it 4 different ways. Very nice job. I was on it only one way, and I should have been on it 2 ways. All right. So you want the over in the San Diego Miami game, right?
Yes, I do. I mean,
right.
are they hanging? They're hanging a 7?
Yes, they are, and I was thinking that was definitely just looking a little bit low. Definitely looking a little bit low. Let's see, Miami, San Diego 7 minus 120. When I put it in my leans column, my leans category, it was minus 115. But you want that one, Jim? San Diego.
I do.
All right, San Diego over 7 minus 120. Jimmy the Bag is starting off with that one. I've given the first half over on that one. I don't know what I might give the full game over. I might give both first 5 inning team total overs. Those are all leans. Not exactly sure how exactly I want to handle this, but looking at some of the other games, someone suggested this in the morning show. It was how I was thinking. The Dodgers against Eflin. Now the Dodgers are often overvalued, but Eflin is looking very, very vulnerable. He's been figured out, and I did put the Dodgers first 5 innings team total over in my leans category. I definitely bet that one, and I'm definitely going to give that one as an official pick right now. Just to start, I might throw on. I bet the Dodgers at minus 170 on the minus 1 line. Now it's up to minus 200. Not sure if I want that one, but I will definitely take LA Dodgers first 5 innings team total over 2 minus 131, and that is at Pinnacle. Do you think that Eflin is going to have a surprisingly good start here?
No, I agree with what all the comments were on the morning show that Eflin's sort of being figured out.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, I forgot to mention Jimmy's plays in the morning show. I'll do that right after this one.
But Stripling, I don't know if I have faith in Stripling either. Sorry, I was just replying to Scotty Rock. Rock got that over at 7.5. I understand why you would get it at 7.5. You know, and at 7, it's almost a must grab. So yes, I don't think that Stripling or Eflin are top quality starters. I'm shocked. How long can Stripling keep doing this?
Well, Stripling has had 3 eye-popping games, like ton of Ks, no walks, no homers. Really impressive. You think those 3 games are a fluke in total?
Not necessarily a fluke, but I'm amazed at how incredible he's pitching.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make sense when you look at his career.
Yeah.
So in saying that, I'm going to take the over here as well.
Okay, I am going to actually get minus 130. That is at Heritage right now. Jim's taking the full game over. Let's see what we can give him on that one. Line shopping, no sevens. We can give you 7.5 minus 101 though. Is that okay?
That's okay.
All right, LA Dodgers over 7.5 minus 101. Thank you so much, everyone, for the kind words. I can feel them coming in, and the positive and bearing with us through all of the technical issues that we are having. Funny shit coming in. Funny shit coming in.
Yeah, funny shit from Shannon Connolly. Says you look like a 70s pop star.
Oh, shout out to Shannon Connolly. Hey, Shannon Connolly, check this out. You remember our man Dave? You remember that, right? Collected $20,000 on my behalf. Our deal was he was going to give me 90% of that. Gave me 0% of that. How do you like them apples? Shannon Connolly, our boy Dave, totally scammed me. How do you like them apples? How do you like them apples?
I don't like those at all. I don't like those apples at all,
Things
man.
are going okay.
I despise those apples.
Yeah, I despise those apples too. All right, Kevy K asking why are the Sharps pounding the Mets money line? We will get into that in a second. Marco Lou saying, can the tech issue occur during the WNBA segment? Nice. Marco Lou. Yeah. I have no play for the WNBA tonight, but we will quickly mention it. All right, so there's a lot of other plays that I have leans on. Jimmy the Bag, here are your picks. You ready, Jim? These are the picks that Jim gave in the morning show. Minnesota, first 5 innings, run line -0.5, and full game run line -1.5. Houston on the money line +180. Oakland, first half run line -0.5 and full game run line -1.5. Atlanta, run line -1.5, and San Francisco on the alternative run line -1.5 +265. How about that? Right?
Yep.
Feeling good? Feeling good, Jim?
I'm pretty lucky, pretty thankful to get that Red Sox run line 6-2. They don't bring in their closer. They bring in Brian Johnson. He lets back-to-back singles, and I was very fortunate to get that cash. So obviously it's the camel power. I understand it. Now I would like to talk about this Matt Moore, James Paxton situation in Seattle. I went deeper into this because of what Tomor was saying about how bad, how hard lefties hit Paxton, and one of the reasons why the Rangers always hit Paxton is because they have lefties that take care of business. Joey Gallo, Odor, Chu, Mazzara. So lefties are hitting .374 with a 1.147 OPS, an OPS just over 1,100 against them.
Sure,
Well,
Jim.
that makes me think that Matt Moore is going to get touched, and if they can get Paxton for 2 or 3 runs, this over should be in business.
Yeah, you think that's Paxton for 2 or 3 runs? I would be thinking about that's the Texas team total for the game. I was thinking maybe the under might be a good play. I think Paxton's going to have another strong start. Why not?
Well, because of what I just said, these lefties in this Rangers lineup are tough to pitch to.
Yeah, you might be right there. I'm looking at this one. I was thinking maybe Seattle -1, although it'd be -200. Maybe a shot with the Texas team total unders, although that's low. Maybe a shot with the Seattle team total overs. That's one I was thinking about. So
Barceman says overs 5-1 Moore's last 6 starts, overs 4-1 in Moore's last 5 starts on grass. I mean, I look at this and I think that I'm going to take the over, and then I got the over on 3 of those plays here, and that's I'm not very comfortable doing that, but I just see these are all situations that I want to pound. So, and they're hanging 7s, right? Aren't they hanging 7s in this Mariners game?
On the Mariners game, yes, which is understandable with Paxton going.
See, I don't think it's understandable with Paxton going. Paxton's being destroyed by this Rangers team in 5.10 ERA. 11 starts against the Rangers.
What do you want to do here, Jim?
I want to take the over.
Yeah, you want the over? Okay, are you sure you want this one?
I'm very.
All right, over 7 we can give you at the Greek -120. Seattle game over 7 -120. Let me quickly look at some of the leans that I was thinking about. Definitely, I was thinking Colorado first 5 innings team total over, and the first five innings over 6 in that game for sure. There you go, Miami San Diego full game over 7. That's in my leans column. San Diego money line -126. That's in my leans column. Both of the first 5 innings team total overs, Miami and San Diego. I was also thinking about unders in the Minnesota KC game. Now I know, Jim, you gave Minnesota -0.5 and -1.5. So you think that that KC reliever is going to get touched here? I was thinking about shots with the first 5 innings under in the full game.
I don't even think that he'll get touched. We're talking about Kenner, I believe, or Keller.
Yeah.
It's not that Keller. It's not that I think Brad Keller's going to get touched. He's got a 50 to 60 pitch limit.
Yeah, right.
Who are they going to put in after him?
Right. Good point. Good point, Jim. Dodgers first 5 innings team total over. I've already made that an official pick. Dodgers -1 is in my leans column. Let's see. The San Francisco and Tampa Bay alternative run lines. San Francisco -1 plus 219 and Tampa Bay -1 plus 187 are both in my leans column. Houston Yankees under is in my leans column as well at 8, and also the first 5 innings at 4.5. What else do we have going on here? There we also got the LA Dodgers on the full game team total over at 4, and that's about it. That's about it for my lean. I see the Cincinnati run line -1 plus 276 hanging there. Man, I missed out on that one. Look at that. Look at that. Also, of course, what did I say? I said I like the Milwaukee under. I pounded that one when it was 9 on the overnight line. It was 8.5, just didn't have the balls to give it. There's one time, remember in that Pittsburgh game when I bet it on the under 9, and then it was 8.5 in the show, and I took it and it landed on 9. So I guess I was, couldn't sack up because of that. But yeah, so I hit that one. That was in my leans column as well. All right, so Jimmy the Bag. Other games. Let's quickly touch on the Yankees game because that is at 6:35 Eastern time. Goes off in 15 minutes.
Sure, I just wouldn't mind answering Farouk Islam quickly saying, Jimmy, anyone not playing for the Pirates got their lineup right here, and it looks good, but no Marte. So you got Jay Hay leading off, Austin Meadows, who stayed hot, and then Cervelli, who's just playing very, very well. Josh Bell at the 4, Dickerson 5, Moran at 6, and then Polanco, who is just hitting just barely over the Mendoza line at 205. That's surprising. And then Jordy Mercer at the 8. So their lineup looks good other than Marte.
Yeah, no, Shannon Connolly saying, Pete, you talking about Flash Dave, Uncle Cracky? Yeah, I'm talking about the fucking Dave. Dave, the fucking dude, the fucking collector dude. You know what I'm talking about, Shannon. Fucking Dave, the fucking guy. Bullshitter. All right, let's move on.
Want me to sharpen up the chopstick, man?
Yeah, we'll do something about it. Listen, people don't realize I have a forum to rant publicly. All right, so what else do we have here, Jimmy the Bag?
You wanted to talk about the Yankees-Astros game.
Yeah, it's at 6:45. Jim, you did take the Houston at plus 180, and
what can I get now?
About 5 cents in your favor. Now the best line would be at UWager. If you'd like to sign up with UWager, please use the link in the description box. Plus 178. I was thinking about unders in this one. Obviously, it's a low total and 2 big offenses, but Severino, Keuchel vulnerable, but maybe not as vulnerable as people are thinking. You know, he's not Cy Young style, but he's still a decent. He gets decent results, right? I don't know.
Johnny B. Bad says if Astros win, under 8 will cash. Janed 52-160 says New York Yankees over is the play. Man, Teddy B saying Loshak Braves first 5 over 2.5 looks just as good as Jim's hookers. I guess you haven't seen them lately. But let's break this down a little bit. Keuchel, Severino. I feel like Keuchel's record against the Yankees has been very good. Now we think that he's not quite the same pitcher as he was. 2 years ago, maybe not quite the same pitcher as he was last year, but he had a pretty good start against the Yankees last off. Just got touched by the great Giancarlo Stanton twice. 2 home runs from Stanton, but other than that, he pitched well. He leads the American League with ground ball rate, 57.7. The wind's blowing sideways. I feel like I think that's a nice play. I think that's a nice play. What would you get? What would be the line
on what?
On the under.
Well, it's 8. It's 8 minus 120 or whatever. I mean, this is minus 112. This is one of those plays where it's like, if it probably is like a 54% play, but most of the games are going to come close. You know what I mean? So it's going to seem a little bit tricky. Let me get to some other games. Let me just see. Unfortunately, the Angels, Detroit, and Mets, Atlanta games, I didn't get a chance to handicap. Maybe I'll handicap them on the fly in this game. San Francisco, Colorado. Let's talk about that. The total has gone bet down a little bit, which is a little bit weird. It opened at 11.5. Gray and Holland. Now it's down to 11 or 10.5. This total is headed down. Is someone out for either of these teams?
I will check right now, and I don't know if you guys remember. If those of you who watched the earlier show know that I was going to fade Musgrove if Cervelli wasn't in the lineup, and Cervelli missed the last 3 games with the flu. I was concerned. Musgrove was concerned that Cervelli was going to be there because he doesn't know these National League hitters and he trusts them implicitly, he said. And so I'm not going to make a move on the Cubs. So I'm turning this.
Anthony L saying Severino will shut them down. I took a parlay when the line was lower this morning. Let's see. What else do we have going on here? Let me see. Gened 52-160 says one of my sharps I follow took the Yankees over. Brian Clark says I love this show. Why are you guys not on Spike? Well, I can answer that because media executives are fucking idiots and don't know what the fuck they're doing or talking about. If there's a show that's legitimately good, you would expect it not to be on Spike. And the show's on Spike, you would expect to suck. That's why, Brian Clark. Right? Am I right or am I right?
Well, regardless, Brian Clark, thanks for joining us, man.
No, I love media executives. I love them. They're very smart.
I just love
They're
Brian
very smart.
Clark, man. I
They're
love
very
Brian
smart.
Clark.
Yeah, I love Brian Clark too.
Fuck media executives.
Yeah,
Brian Clark.
Exactly. You're damn right.
We need more Brian Clarks.
We absolutely do. Thank you so much, Brian Clark. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on that
okay.
rant
No,
here.
I like it. It's exciting.
Right. Okay, good.
I don't know what you're going to do next week. I like it.
I got a new coffee mug. We'll talk about that later. We have too much to talk about here. Native Queen.
Gorgeous.
Native Queen. Everyone calm down. Native Queen. Yankees to score first. First 5 and under in the first 5 innings. So Native Queen also liking a relatively modest scoring game, at least early in the Yankees game, liking the Yankees to score first. Yankees first 5 as a favorite. Wow. And under first 5. Damn.
Wow. And CC Fitness saying, I think the Colorado game stays under. Rockies are 8-2-1 to the under in last 11 versus lefties. Both starters should pitch well enough to stay under 12 runs. Well, I thought Holland wasn't good enough to crack a major league lineup, and I got becoming a little bit higher and a little bit higher on him and a little bit higher on him. Then I was very impressed with that start against the Cubs. I think the Cubs have a much more dangerous lineup against lefties than the Rockies. This is not the Rockies from last year. Now, in saying that, Cargo has gotten hot all of a sudden. So Cargo is definitely capable. I think I don't have the stats in front of me, but last 3 or 4 games, been hitting very hard. So if he starts heating up, maybe they'll hit lefties harder. But I don't. I know a couple people now. Obviously, it's lost 5 straight, but I know a couple people who think that this Coors Field fade is in business tonight.
Is someone out for Colorado, because the line has also moved about 20 cents in San Francisco's favor?
Oh, let me
with
check
Holland
right now.
starting. I know Gray's gotten touched recently, but see, this just makes no sense to me. I was thinking over, and I was thinking at least Holland was going to get hit, but the line has moved in San Francisco's favor, and the total has gotten bet down about a half run. I don't quite get it. The first 5 innings over. I was going to take it in the morning show. It was going to be like 6 minus 105. Now it's 6 plus 112 at Pinnacle.
No, their lineup is what you would expect it to be. They've got a couple.
Oh no, sorry, that was a team. Sorry, go on.
They got a couple DL issues, but the lineup is what we would expect it to be.
The lineup is what you would expect it to be. All right, let me just think about this for a second. Let me just make some decisions here. Check a few things. All right, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I had my opinions on the Cincinnati game. I wasn't able to sack up on those, and I left a ton of money on the table. I'm gonna start off right now. Colorado first half over 6, and I'm going to take the Colorado first half team total over 3. I'll get the best lines right now, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I get it. Kevin K saying no, don't bet the Coors under today.
Don't bet the Coors. Right, that's what I was thinking. I'm not.
Says books are figuring out and lowering the line. Mr. Kite, is it Kit or Kite?
I have no idea.
Mr. Kite, let us know, because we love you, man.
Yeah, we love you.
And I don't want to be pronouncing your name wrong. And I know he's told me before. I just, smoke a lot of that sticky.
Do you?
Rockies first half money line.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Kit.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Kit, but he'll let us know here. And Alan Action says Rockies have beaten the Giants now 12 of the last 13 at Coors. Paco Healy says seems like everyone is on the Phillies.
Really? I'm on the Dodgers. I took them at minus 170 on the -1 line. The Dodgers -1 at minus 140 is definitely in my leans column as well. I might convert that one last minute here, and I'm just looking. All right, so the first 5 innings over 6 in the Colorado game will be minus 110, and the Colorado first 5 innings team total over will be 3 minus 115. I might be making a mistake here, but I got to go with my leans, because my leans have definitely been cashing. Jim. What
they
else?
have been very impressively.
Yeah.
Everybody wants more of your leans, and it's Kit. And
Yeah,
we should
Mr.
pronounce
Kit.
his name right, because he's a very helpful capper
Yeah.
in our chat. Mr. Kit, what it is, man,
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
Buddy Bill saying Mets or Atlanta. I think this is a great spot for Atlanta. And though Dave LA's on the Dodgers team total over, thinks Eflin's going to get touched. But Kevin K says Philly's a live dog. Melee Payless Way likes Dodgers to win. Buddy Bill's saying Mets or Atlanta. I like Atlanta here. We know that they absolutely destroy lefties. And somebody was saying that the sharps and late money is coming in on the Mets.
Let me see. Let me check the line move here at SBRodds.com. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, about a 25-cent line move in favor of the Mets. Opened at plus 161 at Pinnacle, now down to plus 135 at Pinnacle. So this is another one of these 25-cent market moves that have been much more right than not over the past few weeks. Is someone out for Atlanta?
I'm checking.
Check
right
the
now.
lineup. Jimmy the Bag. While I go over other stuff here. Also, the line in the Tampa Bay Oakland game continues to go down. Jimmy the Bag took Oakland in the morning, and the line has gone even down 10 cents further from the morning show. It's now down to plus 115 at Pinnacle. Opened at plus 152 at Pinnacle. In the morning, it was down to plus 125. Now down to plus 115 at Pinnacle. So that from opening till now, that counts as a 37-cent line move in favor of Tampa Bay.
And I doubled up on it.
Wow.
Uncomforting.
Yeah, well, I can see it. I was leaning Tampa Bay on this one, actually. I was going to take Tampa Bay -1 is in my leans column. Tampa Bay and San Francisco -1 are both in my my leans column right now. The line's moving a little bit back in Philly's favor. Let's see, what else do we got going on here?
This Atlanta lineup looks normal. I mean,
Normal?
we know Acuna's not there, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the status quo for them right now.
Okay, all right. Someone else was saying that Washington-Baltimore looks like low-hanging fruit, but he didn't indicate in which way. Obviously, Washington is a massive favorite here. Scherzer coming off of a rare subpar start. Hess had a decent start in his first start last game, which I predicted. You remember I said that? I was like,
yeah.
he has some okay stuff. Not a top of the line starter, but good enough for a short period of time, I think, to be serviceable. Maybe a shot with the under is worth a play here. Scherzer probably has a good start, but I wouldn't want to take Washington at minus 250 here.
Absolutely not. Scherzer's last start was not comforting. He got touched, and I was lucky to hit with the Nationals on the run line in that game. I'm not sure what Hess is going to give us, but we know that the Nationals team is just fire right now. They've won 9 straight on the road. They're going for the sweep here. They're 20-6 in the last 26. This without Zimmerman, Eaton, Murphy, or Kendrick. I mean, it's very impressive. National starters have allowed 3 earned runs or less in 27 of their last 28 games. The Orioles, they're doing nothing offensively. Just nothing. They're hitting .233. They're averaging 3.8 runs per game. Scherzer's 5-2 with 3.20 ERA career against the Orioles. 2-0 with 3.68 ERA in Baltimore. Jones is the only guy who hits him hard. Hits him really hard. Machado is only 1 for 22 against him. Jones 13 for 29, 4 home runs. Yeah, I mean, so I guess we're expecting a bounce. You're expecting a bounce back start for Scherzer.
Yeah. Hey, are we still streaming? Oh, okay, we just heard the click of death for that, but I guess we are. Yeah, not bad. SBR does have some backup stuff here. Nick Dial says the umpire Doug Eddings, of course, 2-8 to the under, and the wind is blowing in approximately 14 in. Otani can bring it, and Fire's been solid at home. Play of the day under 8.5 in that Angels Detroit game. Got it at 9 this morning. That line did not have an overnight line, so I didn't get a chance to handicap it. And then with all the chaos with the storm right now, I didn't get a chance to look at it late. But Nick Dial, Eddings has been a long-term undertrender for years, although evened out a little bit in recent years. But about 10 years ago, he was like a no-brainer underplay every time out. Still has under tendencies, and that's like a guy who prays the gay away, but still has gay tendencies. Like even after all these years, Eddings still has.
You can't praise the gay away.
You can't pray the gay away. You can't analytics the under trend away. Eddings definitely still an under trender. That's interesting, Jim.
Yeah, I would like to talk about it. I just want to give a note. Tota's joined us, and anytime he says something, it's important for us all to hear it. He says line's way short on Scherzer, but this is the type of park you don't play him. Fly balls at Camden, trouble. Otani fires. See, I don't believe in fires at all, and that's my problem. I just don't trust them. Tigers have won 4 of their previous 5 games before losing last night 9-2. Otani, 4-1, 3.35 ERA, 1.07 whip, getting a lot of rest between starts. His last outing was May 20th. Held Tampa to 2 runs, 6 hits, 7 2/3. Fires forward, 3, 4.78 ERA, 1.33 whip. He has allowed 4 earned runs in each of his last 2 starts. 8 career starts against the Angels, 3-3, 5.59 ERA. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Wind is blowing in strongly.
Yeah.
And they got the right ump for the under. But so the weather's right, the ump is right, but I just don't really trust the pitchers. Are you gonna, or the Tigers pitcher. Are you going to make a move on the under?
I don't know. I have to think about that. It's definitely an interesting situation for sure. Ohtani, you never quite know what you're going to get with him. I've got a lot of things that I'm kicking around in my head right now, looking at these games. Jim, I'm thinking about there's some great notes. Buxton is out for Minnesota.
Yeah, DL'd.
Mm-hmm.
DL'd back with another foot injury.
Yes. And what else do we have? What other notes were coming in? Isan Zolfagari loves the Tampa Bay team total over 3.5.
Yeah, that's going against Mania.
Mm-hmm. Someone else said that Moore is going to get touched at least a little bit here. I was thinking about taking Seattle on the first 5 innings team total over at least, although it's 2.5, and I'm guessing that the full game would be 4.5. So but I'm agreeing with that one, and it's just feels suckers to take Seattle -1 at minus 200.
Native Queen adding another play on that Yankees game.
Okay, what is she like?
No score in the first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very nice. Very nice. Let's see what else coming in. I'm just looking at Scotty Rock Forever says, Pete and Jimmy, what's a site you go to where I can see bullpen rankings? A lot of sites have bullpen rankings. Closer Monkey is a good site. You know that Closer Monkey?
I don't know.
Closer Monkey is nice. You can get some nice rankings there. Of course, Fangraphs has all the kinds of stats that you could possibly want. Just do a search for bullpen rankings, and you'll find more than you could possibly.
There's a bunch of them. Yeah.
But Closer Monkey is a very nice, easy to use site that focuses only on bullpens. Let's give a shout out. Closer Monkey, send a check. No, I love you, Closer Monkey. Don't send a check. I just love you. Just send love, Closer Monkey. Let's see. What else do we have here? Michael Ervolina says Angels team total first 5. Let's see. I'm looking for comments.
Anthony L saying I would need a bigger sample size to trust -220 price on Ohtani on the road. I can understand that. Alan Axe says Ohtani hasn't lost in a month. And it doesn't start tonight. Fires has pitched better than expected, but regression is coming. I think regression is here if you watch his last 2 starts, but I agree with that.
Conrado Mendoza says, what is y'all's favorite sports book? Conrado Mendoza, it depends on your bet size. It depends on are you a big bettor or a small bettor? It depends on what kind of bets you're looking for, whether you're looking for a lot of prop stuff like that. And you can find all of that information at Sportsbook Review.
Beautifully done.
.com. Conrado Mendoza with a great girlfriend. Hopefully she treats him right. You know what I'm saying? She should. All right. I'm just looking for other comments here.
And we know what if she doesn't, right? MGTOW.
Yeah, MGTOW. MGTOW is always an option. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're independently wealthy, you have to have a job. Being unemployed is not an option. But in relationships, MGTOW, always an option. I chose it myself. Look at me now. MGTOW. All right, let's get to some more comments here. Comments coming in. This is a pretty good show. Pretty good show going on here, Jim. I'm still spazzing out about what leans because the thing is, like, as we know, earlier in the year, the reason my record got so bad in MLB is because I did make a multiple ill-advised triple ups. They all lost, and all of a sudden I was down 15 units. So all these triple ups, there's a bunch of triple ups that, like the Cincinnati game today where I would have stacked units. But, there's a bunch of games that I want to triple and quadruple up on.
Well, the triple ups have been poison for both of us. But Marco Lou wants to take a look at that record, Pete. He's questioning your MLB record. Your record is very good right now. Sure. I don't know. We've had some power outages.
Can we throw the record up there?
Yeah, throw the record. And is that from the new one from today or from?
Oh yeah, not counting the winners from today. I'm up 10.5 units, which is a good record considering that I had a bunch of disastrous triple ups earlier in the year that were all negative, and I've left a bunch of units on the table.
I'm the one that's been falling apart. I'm the one. I was up 17. I hit up 17. Plus 17 units. Yeah,
Jim was up in the plus 15s, and so Jim is a cautionary tale of what can happen when you take your eye off the ball with these picks. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, eye off the ball. What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I don't know what that's supposed to mean. The point is that a few ill-advised triple-ups, and I'll be right down there in the negative digits as well. JP saying, Pete, do you post your plays on Twitter? JP, I do post plays on Twitter, but not the plays in the show. If I want to add plays, I tweet them out, and of course, I tweet out my second half plays if I like them in basketball. Tweeted out a WNBA winner recently. So I do post plays on Twitter, but not the plays in the show, just plays that I want to add. Okay.
Teddy B saying, okay. He's tripling up.
Okay.
Teddy B, my man. Teddy B tripling up on Atlanta first 5 over 2.5. Atlanta -0.5 first 5, and Atlanta run line.
Okay.
That makes me feel good. I've got Atlanta. I've just got them on the run line, right?
Yes, just -1.5, plus 142. And
Plus
again,
140. And I have a question. Sorry,
Yeah,
a
go ahead,
different
okay.
one. How bad did the line movement go against me when Buxton was announced out for the Twins? Could I have got a much better line? I got the run line at plus 120. Could I have got much better?
which one?
With the Twins?
Minnesota, yes, you got plus 120, and right now, no, you can still get plus 120 at Bookmaker. Yeah.
Okay, so it didn't go against me.
Not
today.
really. And UWager has plus 120. Line chopping, very important, although Bet Online headed down there, plus 109. Okay, so what else do we have going on? Anything else you want to discuss, Jim, but while I peruse my leans and decide what I want to add?
I'm excited about adding in those 3 totals for those 3 late games. I'm excited about adding the overs. When I look, I'm very concerned about this line move, and to me it has to be, I don't know, guys just really believing in Eovaldi, and I find that difficult to understand.
The thing about Eovaldi is he's always had awesome velocity, right?
Yes.
He's just had injury issues and other problems. Now, if you read the reports on his rehab, which I think is somewhat legitimate, but take a grain of salt or whatever. They're working on him. They're doing this and that and all the friggin' mechanics and the training regimens and all that stuff. So, he and the people who are handling him are optimistic. They say the velocity is still there.
Yeah, and I mean, does he count as a guy who's been around long enough that you don't care? He looked terrible in the 10 innings. And why only 10 innings?
I don't know. What my guess is because some fucking nerd in analytics punched in the data and said he only needs 10 innings of rehab start. That is the optimal amount of rehab start for Nathan Eovaldi. That would be my guess.
God, I hope that dickhead praised the gay out.
Yeah. Jimmy the Bag. All right. I'm also thinking about tripling up on the San Diego-Miami game, taking both first 5-inning team total overs just like I did in the Tampa Bay game. Urena, he's vulnerable. Richard, he's vulnerable. I know both these lineups are nothing special, but they're still major league lineups.
I was looking at these 3 overs and I was like, stop. Like, I got up and I went for a walk. I was like, don't simplify this too much. But I kept going back. I'm like, look, these, other than Paxton, and I know you're high on Stripling, but these are not pitchers that should be hanging 7s.
No.
So I'm taking the over on all 3. I haven't bet them yet. I will as soon as the show's over, but I like it.
Well, I agree with you on the Miami-San Diego one. The Texas one makes me nervous, and the Philly one makes me nervous as well. Because if Eflin I like Stripling, and if Eflin does have a decent start, the Dodgers might, shut down offensively. And I don't know. I don't think Eflin's going to have a good. I agree with you. I mostly agree with you, Jimmy.
Mostly.
Yeah. What's your take on Urena and Richard? Are these offenses? What's your? Just give me your 5-second take on the Miami-San Diego offenses. How weak are they? If you don't mind checking the lineups to make sure that everyone's in there. I mean,
and I don't know if we could get the official lineups at this point.
Yeah.
But I will take a look. Well, Hosmer is batting 266.
He's good.
He's a great hitter, and I expect him to heat up now. So we'll get Hosmer rolling. But yeah, this Padres offense does not look good. They had higher expectations for Manuel Margot. He's batting 200 and barely playing. They've got guys in there that they didn't expect. They got Jankowski playing a lot, and he started at 400, and he's been regressing. Like, it's an easy lineup to pitch to. And then the Marlins are batting just 679 OPS versus lefties. That's with a 244 batting average. So they're with no power whatsoever.
Yes.
I do think these pitchers are vulnerable.
Okay.
And I'm an over 7. You're going to hang just a 7 with these 2 guys. Remember, we thought Richard had maybe turned the corner about 3 weeks ago.
Look, I mean, I think that Richard going forward is going to be the same type of deal. Once in a while, especially against strong lineups in hitter-friendly parks, he's going to get crushed. But most of the time, he's going to be okay. Sometimes a little bit better. He's going to have a bunch of 6-inning, 3-run starts, then a few other 7-inning, 2-run starts with no strikeouts, but getting a lot of grounders. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see from him. What's funny?
Moses J has a question. He says, big line swing should be interpreted as...
Well, big line swings should be, first of all, that someone with influence at least thinks they know what they're talking about. Now, in football, the line moves are often caused by sharp money, but not always. Not always. And in my calls with DSI that I did for years and years and years, he would talk about that a lot of times. Sometimes the line moves would be caused by big dumb money. The smaller the markets, the much more likely it is that big line moves are being caused by sharp action. MLB definitely counts as that. WNBA definitely counts as that, and NBA totals not quite. But so the line move should be interpreted as someone with legit authority thinks they know what they're talking about. Usually they do, but not always. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and we've found in NBA late action.
Or one other thing that I forgot to mention. Sure. Or sometimes it's just a market reaction to roster updates, to someone being out. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That will happen in NBA as well. Mm-hmm. Now, if there's no one out in the NBA or in the lineup, that tells you that it's like big money betting on something. If it's because someone is out, that explains the line move and not necessarily something that you should be worried about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, I think that's well put. I think it was well put. Chris Picard gave 99 cents.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The owners and higher-ups of SBR and the owners and higher-ups at YouTube, thank you. On behalf of them, thank you, Chris Picard. All right. Let's see. What else do we have
Kevin
here?
K saying, how do you donate money? Mm-hmm. I don't know. You meet us in Vegas?
Yeah. Just FYI, that money that you donate, I understand that. I mean, maybe I'm being presumptuous thinking that Chris Picard meant that 99 cents for us, but we don't get that. That's not for us.
You think he meant it for YouTube?
It's possible. Maybe he meant it for the hires up and ownerships of SBR.
No, he doesn't think those scumbags
All right.
deserve it.
There you go, Jim. We're procrastinating here a little bit because I am trying to decide whether I want to triple up. Here are the big decisions for me. All right, let me review the picks that we've added. Jim has added Seattle game over 7, San Diego over 7, Dodgers over 7.5, minus 101. I have added Dodgers first 5 innings, team total over 2, Colorado first 5 innings, team total over 3, and Colorado first 5 innings over at 6. The big decisions that I'm making are, do I want to triple up on the Miami-San Diego first 5 innings over and take both the Miami and the San Diego team total overs? Do I want to take the Dodgers minus 1? That line is headed down. I did bet it. It's headed a little bit down. Do I want to take that one? Other decisions that I'm thinking about, that's pretty much it. The only other decision I'm thinking about is, do I want to throw on Tampa Bay minus 1 and go directly against Jimmy the Bag? That's a minor decision there.
But I mean, I feel like the whole market's now gone in that direction.
Yes.
So I can understand. I wouldn't feel like that any kind of slight on my capping. I mean, we're seeing a ton of money going in on that side.
It would also be the absolute wrong time for me to have done this. I should have done it on the overnight line instead of right now. And Jimmy the Bag, you didn't get the best line you could have gotten, but relative to the opener, you got a much better line. So that's a positive thing for you. That's really the only thing I'm thinking about. Also thinking about the Mets Atlanta game, and that under in the Angels Detroit game looks pretty tempting. All right, Jimmy the Bag. While I make some decisions here, why don't we quickly move on? We'll quickly talk about should we talk about WNBA or NHL?
I would like to put my picks in for the NHL game.
Let's go. I did give in the NHL game in the morning show. I did take first period under 1.5 plus 104. I absolutely bet that one as well. And a lucrative Larry's play of the future is also on no score in the first 9.5 innings. And a lot of people in the morning show were talking about how they expect this game to be a lot more lower scoring. Flipper 13, experienced guy who knows what he's doing and knows how to be a line mover too, took the under 5.5 at plus 110. That line has gotten bet down. A lot of other people were suggesting that the under was also a good play. Not everyone. Some other people were saying that they like the over, but more people than not were suggesting that they like the under. Jim feels that way as well. I took first period under 1.5 plus 104 as an official pick. Jim, as of right now, has no official picks on NHL, but I have a feeling that's going to change in the next few minutes. What do you like, Jim?
First off, I'm going to ride with old Lumpy Nuts Larry. No score before 9 minutes and 30 seconds have elapsed.
Okay.
More money's gone on the score before, so now I can get that at plus 110 here.
Okay, at Bet365. So no score first 9.5 minutes.
Yes, and I really believe that Washington is going to play completely different. I think the under is a nice play, but I'm not going to double up. I'm just going to take this no score before 9 minutes and 30 seconds. James Stacy wants to discuss the Kansas City game in baseball. We will get back to that, James.
Yes,
and
we will.
Mr. Kit says, surprised it stays at 5.5. He sees a final score of 4-3. Melee Payless weighs on the under 5.5, and both knows the total. And everybody who watches wishes that Chris Angel was not a part of the morning or the pregame show. So bothersome. But I'm taking that, and I was wrong about the line move. I thought, and maybe it could still change, I thought late money would come in on the Knights and I would get a better line. That is not the case. That is not the case, and I am going to take the Capitals now on the money line.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, let me see the Capitals. The line has gotten bet down. Still plus 130 at Bet Online, so we can give you that one, Jim. You want Washington money line plus 130?
I do.
All right.
I do, and I like that. Everybody thinks there's going to be a ton of offense in that first 9.5 minutes. I think that it was a huge wake-up call for the Capitals.
Yeah.
As it is with almost every team who plays this Golden Knight squad, it's a huge wake-up call. You look at their roster, you look at their defense, you're like, where's the offense going to come from? Well, we saw where it's going to come from. They're going to throw everything at the net. They're going to watch Holtby struggle with rebounds and use a shot on net as a pass and create a ton of offense from behind the goal line. We saw all that happening. Now, there's some simple ways to defend that. Now, I'm not saying they're all going to work, but there's some ways to defend that, and that's tightening up your box and collapsing around the goaltender. So instead of playing up around the points, you got to keep a guy up there, but get in 15, 20 feet from the boards, have a very tight box, and understand that you're going to have to sacrifice your body in front of those shots that are coming in. And the shots that we saw, and we saw England look great with it, they're not trying to score. They're aiming for the pads. So, and Justin Searcy says Caps will not play fast this time. They know this is a very, very tough squad they're playing against. And they got to tighten everything up. And so I like the under, but I prefer the no score in the first 9.5 minutes, and that's what I'm jumping on.
Okay, so Jim has two plays: no score first 9.5 minutes plus 110, and Washington money line plus 130. I'm on the first period under plus 104. It's now minus 101, so a small line move in favor of the under as well for the first period. Under. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I absolutely like it.
All right. Okay.
Oh wow, Yanks are already doing damage on the Astros. Jesus, I didn't realize that game started so fast.
Yes, 6:35 Eastern time.
Yanks
Give
are
me the
already
bag.
doing damage.
All right, let's quickly get to some comments. Then we'll go back a little bit to WNBA, and then we'll go back a little bit to MLB. We'll quickly get some comments. Then we'll look at the WNBA game literally for 15 seconds, guys. All right. I know, like, millennials and everyone, they'll click off if you lose their attention for 15 seconds. Just 10, 15 seconds on WNBA. Then we'll go back a little bit to the MLB rest of the card as well. But first, let's look for some comments. Hopefully, someone can illuminate me and help me out. Give me some, shed some light on some of the leans I'm thinking about.
We lost Marco Lou already.
What happened? Why? Well, good WNBA. No, Marco Lou, please. Marco Lou, I'm sorry. Look, maybe we won't even get to W. It's like a lot of times people say, like, I'll hang out when you come to town. They're like, yeah, we'll hang out. And it's total bullshit. Maybe it's like that. We haven't gotten to WNBA yet. Just hold on, Marco Lou, please. All right, let's see. All right. Andre Harrison says, can you discuss the Cubs game too, please? All right.
Cool. We'll hit the Cubs game and the Royals game.
Yeah. Well, why don't you, while I'm looking for comments that I want to identify, why don't I search for comments while Jimmy the Bag, you talk about the Cubs game and also talk about the Minnesota game, because Jimmy the Bag, you do have a pretty strong opinion on that one. Jimmy the Bag, of course, did take first half -0.5 and full game -1.5 for Minnesota. We know that Buxton's out. Jimmy the Bag, why don't you talk about first Cubs Pitt and then talk about Minnesota KC while I scan for handicapping comments here.
I will for sure. Here's a non-handicapping comment from JP. Says, I want to get emptied.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
And we all do. We all do, JP. We all do. Okay, sorry. Let me get to my notes here quickly. Cubs Pirates. So my feeling on this game, and I hit with the Cubs yesterday, and unfortunately had the Pirates the day before when the Cubs won 7-0. Wind is blowing in. I think Musgrove and Pete really liked Musgrove in his first start back and cashed with it. Pirates have lost 4 straight and 9 of 11. If you're just judging the momentum of these teams, you would jump all over the Cubs, and I would understand that. Hendricks, 4-3, 3.16 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, playing very well. 8 straight starts with 3 or fewer runs allowed. He's 4-3 with a 3.21 ERA and 11 career starts against Pittsburgh. And Musgrove looked great. And Cervelli's in the lineup, and he's going to trust Cervelli implicitly. He's not going to shake anything off. Cubs are hitting hard, and the Pirates' offense is dropping. They're now 256 with a 747 OPS. I like the Cubs. Even with this situation that's arisen with Cervelli being healthy. And what would the line I'd be getting? Line's gone up. -135s. There's -140s. I'm not going to take that here with Musgrove. and the Pirates at home, but I could understand if somebody wanted to do that.
I'm just looking for comments here that's going to that might shed some light. The only comment I found is a funny one from JK. You guys don't act like you don't like entertainment. Medieval times, anyone? Jeez, lighten up, people. That's apropos of I don't know what, but it's pretty funny. Medieval times in Vegas. You ever been there, Jim? Fun as hell.
No, I haven't, and nor will I ever.
All right, so let's see. Teddy B says, Loshak showed me love about an hour ago. I put 100 on the Reds live money line plus 250. Let's go. Teddy B, great call. I was on the Reds as well with my bets and in my leans category. Didn't have the balls to give them, although I did give the second half, so that one cashed. Nice job, Teddy B. I'm going to try to sack up for the rest of this week and next week as well.
Sack up. Nostratoda still liking the Cubs, says Cubs owns the Bucks, still valuing them. Dom Ricci, Cubs are going to win next 8 out of 10 games. Frug Islam, thinking about putting a little money on the Cubs. Justin Searcy on the Cubs run line. Wow, interesting. Kevin K says, I think with Austin Meadows, Bucks have a shot here. I think the Cubs are a team that's going to keep winning. I'm thankful that Tomor got me on the Cubs to win the division. I know the Brewers are playing very well, but I think the Cubs will take care of business. Now, moving on to that Twins-Royals game, it's just a complete mess. The Royals have nobody to pitch, so they've called up guys. They made some moves today to get some backup pitchers from AAA. Brad Keller is a reliever making his first career start, and then Scott Barlow was supposed to come in after he. So Keller's on the 50 to 60 pitch limit. Barlow was supposed to come in and Barlow pitched great yesterday in the extra inning game, 4 innings of no hit baseball. So with that situation, I'm going to take Fernando Romero and the Twins here confidently, knowing that the Royals are an absolute mess. And Buxton going to deal. Buxton's not been playing well. Buxton's obviously been dealing with this toe injury. Get him out. Get him off. Get him out. I don't think that hurts the Twins that bad. If Buxton was hitting 300 like he was in the second half of last season, it would be a huge loss. But he's just not playing that way. With all the issues that the Royals are dealing with, I chose to double up on the Twins. First half minus a half run and full game minus 1.5.
All right, so some interesting stuff here. Just a few comments here. Ricana 90210 says Atlanta team total over covers in the first 5. And Anthony L likes the Marlins team total over first 5 at 1.5. But Anthony L also is firmly against Richards. Has talked about it in the comment section in a few shows that Richards is a guy he's usually looking to auto fade. He might be being Richards has bad peripherals. But Anthony L might be being a little bit hard on Richards. But in general, I'm agreeing with him.
Well, he looked like he was coming on there, right? He had like 3 starts in a row that he pitched over 6 in the 3rd innings. And then the last 2 starts have been bad. So you just don't know what you're going to get with Clayton Richard.
Yes. Justin Searcy says Pirates headed for regression off schedule alone. Dom Ricci says so much Tampa Bay love has me liking Oakland more and more. I'm just on the overs in that one. Let's see. What else do we have here? I'm just thinking about what I want to do here. All right. I'll do it. I'll bet that Urena and Richard both struggle a little bit. And I will take the Miami first 5 innings team total over. And I will also take the San Diego first 5 innings, team total over. As long as I don't lose both of those, it'll be okay. If I win one, lose one, that'll be all right. Be great to cash them both, though. First 5 innings, team total over for San Diego. I will do that. Other leans that I was thinking about. All right, so let me just find the best lines here. Jim, any comments coming in? Anything you want to discuss here?
Seriously saying Marlins usually hit lefties. They hit them for an okay average, but with no power. If you're batting .244, you'd expect to be at least at .715 OPS. The Giants are an anomaly. I mean, they're hitting with no power at all, and they're now 4th in majors in batting average. I believe they're like 261. They're still at 725 OPS. So the Marlins just have no power whatsoever. Now let's see what else. Janed 52160. Janed 52160 says pound Marlins over and Atlanta over.
All right. So the best line for the Marlins first 5 innings team total over is at Heritage 1.5 minus 115. Imagine that, Jim. I mean, Clayton Richard isn't that bad. Maybe Anthony L's being a little bit hard on him, but Clayton Richard, is he a 1.5 first 5 inning team total kind of guy?
Not at all.
Man,
I can
unreal,
totally understand
right?
it. Nostratoda saying, Urena, first 5 full game, plug your nose, cover your eyes.
All right, so I'm taking the Miami first 5 innings team total over 1.5 minus 116, and the San Diego Padres first 5 innings team total over 2 plus 104. I mean, Urena is okay, but is he a first 5 innings team total over 2 at plus money kind of guy?
No,
Not at all.
not at all.
Not at all, Jim. Not at all. All right. The Dodgers game, I'm on the first 5 inning team total over, thinking about Dodgers -1, thinking about Phillies second half, and thinking about Dodgers full game team total over as well. Other plays I'm thinking about are, I don't know.
But seriously is right when he's talking about in the past. So, like, if you look at Clayton Richards' record in his career against the Marlins, they hit him hard. 283 opponents batting average, but we have to remember that was a team with lefty killers in Giancarlo Stanton and Yelich. I mean, Yelich and Ozuna weren't the killers that Stanton was, but they were three of their top 4 hitters against lefties. So I can understand where you're coming from for sure.
All right, one other play I am adding. That Detroit game is very interesting. Now, I haven't handicapped it too in-depth, but I am going to take the second half under on that one. That's going to be 3.5 minus 110. Angels, Tigers with the wind blowing in and Doug Eddings behind the plate. Angels, Tigers, second half under, 3.5 minus 110. Full game under might be worth a shot as well. That is now down to 8.5, and that's definitely a lean, and I might be leaving money on the table with that one. Anything else you want to say, Jim?
Alan actually said Richard is the definition of average.
Right.
U of M alum, so it hurts me to say that.
I mean, it's not that. I mean, an average major league pitcher is great. He retires, he gets a pension. I'm just saying the market is just giving him, at first glance, a lot of credit here. Nothing wrong with being an average pitcher. It's just the market is giving him a 1.5 on the first 5 innings team total over. Not quite getting it.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I'm not going to double up on these spots, but I could understand wanting to do that. And when I look at these overs, I think that is the most appealing.
And then we've got Eflin. What do you expect from Eflin? Because I took the first 5 innings team total over, and I'm thinking about doubling up as well. The full game is just 4.
Yeah, I think Eflin's being figured out.
You think he's been figured out, huh?
I do. Last only 4 and a third in each of his last 2 starts. I don't expect him to make it through 5 here. Now, the problem is Justin Turner's resting. And that's a big blow to the over, and I did not know that when I started the show.
Sure. All right. So I'll just take the first 5 innings team total over, but the full game team total over would definitely be a lean, and Philly on the second half would be a lean, but it's just at plus 100. So I'll hold off on that one. Let's just summarize everything once again. Jimmy the Bag has added Washington Capitals money line plus 130, no score in the first 9.5 innings plus 110. Jim also has Seattle over 7, San Diego over 7, Dodgers over 7.5. I have added Dodgers first 5 innings team total over 2, Detroit second half under 3.5, Colorado first 5 innings over 6, and Colorado first 5 innings team total over 3, Miami first 5 innings team total over 1.5, and San Diego first 5 innings team total over 2. Only plays that I'm haven't been able to sack up enough to give would be the full game under in Angels Detroit at 8.5. Maybe the first 5 innings under in Minnesota KC. What do you think about that? The first 5 innings under Minnesota KC.
Yeah, in my Minnesota play, I kind of like that. I'm not fading Keller. Keller's got great numbers as a reliever. I just think that they're in big trouble with what happens after Keller. And knowing that I could get 40 or 50 extra pitches from Romero makes me very confident. I think that first 5 under might be a really sharp play. What's the line?
I will throw that one on as well. You know, a standard line, 5 minus 115. I'm going to take that one. KC, first 5 innings, under 5 minus 115. If these two offenses put up 6, I'll be a little annoyed because that's a borderline play, but I'll be willing to eat that loss.
I think that's a good play.
Okay.
I really do. Under 5 minus 116. Or 115. You think they're going to put up 6 runs in that first 5?
Maybe, but that's the point. Is that if it's a 55% chance that they don't, bam, you're good. Obviously, they could. You know, obviously you could overthink yourself and see why they would be able to put up 6. As we know, nothing is 100%, and very, very few plays are even 60%. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah, I totally know what you're saying.
Feel me? You feel me?
I don't mean to get off topic.
Go ahead.
My man Clint says, my man Anamara Clint says, I've got an average dick. What's wrong with that?
Absolutely, I hear you. In fact, that's better. I mean, we don't want to get too gross here and graphic, but yeah, in some ways that's better. In some ways that's better.
Well,
not a great analogy. Not a great analogy,
No,
but
it's
yeah,
great.
good comment. A
Probably,
great comment.
Probably
Yes.
less veiny.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh God, yeah. You trust Jim to go there always. Jim will always go there. I'm also thinking about doing the Coors Field fade with you, Jim. The line has moved in the San Francisco Giants' favor. Now, why would that be? Why would that be? That's not because stupid people are betting San Francisco. That's because people who are smart are betting San Francisco.
Yes, and Gray's been just getting touched at home. Now we know he's a
Better pitcher than that.
yes, and we know he's got a much higher ceiling, but he's just getting touched at home. I mean, that's just a fact. And I really liked what Holland did against the Cubs, and I think that's a very difficult lineup to pitch to.
All right.
And yeah,
I'm going to go on it with you. I'm going to take San Francisco -1. The money line is plus 150. That's the best line right now at UWager, uwager.com or .eu, whatever it is. UWager has San Francisco money line plus 150. Bet365 has the alternative run line at -1.5 at plus 260, and I'm going to throw that one on there as well. San Francisco -1. We'll see how that one turns out. And then quickly talking about the WNBA. I know people want to talk about that. Washington does have a big injury. They are also on a back-to-back. The line has gotten bet way up from Phoenix -5 to Phoenix -7.5. Washington, though, has been a good team ATS so far, and Phoenix might be just a tick overvalued because they have so many big names in their lineup, but they do have a legitimately deep lineup, deep roster, and experienced quality veterans. So Phoenix is not the kind of team that I want to be betting against. I also don't want to lay 7.5 here, and like I said, this game's going to be a pass for me. With WNBA, I like the plays to come to me. I don't like to force the plays. So maybe there's just going to be a second half play that I'm liking. If so, I'll tweet it out as I did yesterday. But no full game, no pregame play for me on the Phoenix-Washington game. Some people in the morning show were suggesting that Phoenix first half might be a good play. You might be right. I'm going to pass on that one, though.
I hear that, and I will be capping CFL this season.
Oh, no shit, Jim.
Yeah, I will be capping it. So, exhibition starts. Johnny Football has his first start on Friday with the Ticats, and it's a league that I've followed my whole entire life, and my family's followed it our whole entire lives. So I will be capping it, breaking games down, and I think there's a lot of winners, and there's a lot of intricate kind of intangibles with CFL that we can go over. So just so you guys know, I will be capping the Canadian Football League. I
will probably, not guaranteed, but probably be doing that with you, Jim. At least some of the games. There's a lot of stuff that I definitely like CFL. The one thing in my experience in the CFL, definitely, even more than any other sport, and tell me if you agree with this, Jim, expect the unexpected in the CFL. How many times first of all, there's a ton of injuries to quarterback. How many times have you seen like a fifth string quarterback come in and have a great game? How many times have you seen like teams that are just getting blown out repeatedly come in and suddenly have a good game out of nowhere? You know what I'm saying?
I think one thing about the CFL is that you can find dysfunction. And last year's Alouettes were a perfect example of that. And that's something that is when you find, you can destroy. It didn't matter if the Alouettes were 18 or 19-point dogs. They were losing by 35, 40. They were being shut out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there's more dysfunction in the CFL, I find, than in other pro sports. And when you find that team that is only holding on to the coach just to get to that 18th game of the season, you can really jump all over that. So yes, I mean, if the system is right and the starting quarterback goes down, you can get somebody to fill out that system, and that's really, that is a fact. So just because the starting quarterback goes down doesn't mean that like in the NFL, when you know that the team is screwed, it's very different in the CFL. So I think
but in the CFL, you'll see that all the time. You'll see like, all right, the first three quarterbacks are all out for the season. Now we got like then the fourth string quarterback has been stinking up the joint. So now we're going to play our fifth string quarterback, and they'll be like 11.5-point dog and win outright.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of shit like that in the CFL. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. Definitely agree with that. That the best coaches and the best systems continue to produce talent, and especially at that quarterback position, the third stringers, fourth stringers, they can continue to do the job. And my man Loshak says I have to pay people to take my Owls tickets. No doubt. Alouettes, who were once the toast of the league with Calvillo.
And I am going to do one more last-minute play, Jim. I am going to throw on. I'm going to double up. Angels against Detroit under 8.5 -110. I'm going to do it. Angels against Detroit, under 8.5 minus 110. I'm doubling up on that one, Jim. Doubling up on it. And on that note, it is now time for our favorite part of the show and yours as well. Lucrative Larry's play of the future. Had a couple of bad runs recently, but been doing a little bit better. We'll see what he's got going for you today. Lucrative Larry's play of the future coming up right now. Lucrative Larry coming down the line and about to sit next to me. There he is, Lucrative Larry. Welcome.
Thank you, Pete. How's it going?
Well, I'm staying in Japan. I'm taking the Oryx Buffaloes against the Chunichi Dragons. Minus 116 at Pinnacle. Make the money.
Let's make some money. There you go. He's getting the lingo down. Look at that. He's getting the lingo down.
The man is wearing a camel
with that jacket. Yeah, he is.
And he's out the door, and he's gone.
Yeah, and
he's
he's gone
with that camel jacket.
All right, so there you go. Once again, for people who didn't catch it, people who are tracking and making sure that we keep our records honest here, I did decide to add on last minute Detroit at KC Angels against Detroit under 8.5 minus 110. That goes along with my second half play on the under on that one, and that just about wraps it up for today's show. Jimmy the Bag, fun show.
I'm excited. I just pray. All I can do is pray that I will be wearing the camel tomorrow, and I need a streak. These 2 days have just been very, very marginal winners, which I'll take any day of the week. But goddamn, I hope I'm wearing that camel jacket tomorrow.
Sounds great. We'll see you tomorrow morning for the Thursday card, 12 o'clock Eastern time. Thank you so much to everyone for all the great comments as usual. See you tomorrow.